you want to know why so many people do not succeed, then this might be the episode for you. Sit down, settle in, and let's get going. Hey, Bo Schwade here, the man with the whip, and your host with powerful action principles for success. The podcast where we don't fool around. No fluff, no filler, we just get right into the subject. And today's subject is never give up. You're closer than you think. Now, this subject rides on the episode of last week about how to be lucky and how to visualize your goals and make them so vivid that you kick in the law of attraction. And then you have to take action to be lucky. And then the key is you have to be persistent. That's the key. Never give up. And the reason is because rarely does anything work out the first time you try. In most cases, it takes try after try after try with no success at all. You know, millions of people every day set out on a new venture of some type. They're ready to step out. They're ready to put themselves out there, get out of their comfort zone. And then they take off. And then what happens? In most cases, they get slammed to the ground. And what happens in most cases? Most people quit. Most people quit when they fail the first time. So the question to you is, what kind of person are you? Do you quit? Are you going to quit the first attempt and you fail? And the second attempt or the third attempt? Or are you going to stick with it? What type of person are you? Like I just said, most of the time, actually, it takes many tries to succeed in something. Failing over and over. And failing over and over is really, really hard. I know because I have failed so many times in my life, I don't even like to think about how many times I've been slammed to the ground. But like Rocky Balboa in the movie Rocky, he says you got to keep taking the hits and keep moving forward. Keep taking the hits and keep moving forward. You've heard me talk about that before. That's how winning is done. Now, a lot of you out there, if you've been listening to my podcast for a while, you know that I'm a professional entertainer, a Wild West performer. I do all kinds of six-gun tricks with bullwhips, actually won a world championship, and also rope tricks. And those tricks took me a lifetime, years and years of learning. And there was no easy way to learn each trick. I've learned hundreds of tricks, and none of them were simple and easy. And they would just take hundreds, and actually they would take thousands, most of them. Thousands of attempts before I would even get close to mastering it. And then thousands more just to master it. But no matter how difficult it was, I just would not give up. A just give up was not in my vocabulary. And the reason was, actually there's two reasons why I would never give up. And the first reason is, when I would feel like quitting because something was so difficult, I'd always remember something that my dad said to me years ago. He said, "Son, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it." Now, probably everybody's heard that saying before in their life, but it's one of those things that you need to be reminded over and over, especially if you're doing something difficult. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. Think about that. It's so true. Everyone would be doing it if it was easy. And if everyone was doing it, you most likely wouldn't have the opportunity to do it yourself. And the second reason why I would never quit is because in most cases, when it starts to get the hardest, that's when you're the closest to achieving it, the closest to succeeding. And so many people, it's so sad, don't realize that. A lot of people, if they have enough persistence, They'll stick with something and then it gets really, really hard and they're so close to the finish line. And that's when they quit. You can't quit right before the finish line. When things start to get really, really tough, you can't quit because you're almost there. You're so much closer than you actually think. And a great example going back to the tricks that I've learned, taking a lifetime to do. I learned after a while that I would do a trick, like I said, hundreds or thousands of times and never even come close to executing it. And I would get so frustrated and so discouraged that I just wanted to quit. Yet I knew that because I had reached that place, I was so close and I would just keep on trying and keep trying. And usually that's when I would just suddenly start doing it. It would just come to me. And it was always when it was right towards the end when I just was about to give up. And really, it reminds me of an old Chinese proverb that goes something like this. The temptation to quit will be greatest just before you're about to succeed. And that is so true. Just about everything I've ever done in my life, and you've probably experienced it too, that when it starts getting really, really tough, and when I mean tough to that point where you just don't think you can go any further, that's when you're so close to succeeding. And that's when you got to dig deep with grit and never quit. There's no quit in grit. Just keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Keep taking the hits and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. That's what you want to get out of this episode. Just something this as simple as never quit. Dig down deep when things get really, really tough. Keep moving forward. Just keep taking the hits and keep moving forward because you are closer. Don't even think about quitting because you are so close to succeeding probably 90% of the time. So keep moving forward. That's it. I'm Bo Schwade, the man with the whip. Make sure you subscribe so that you get a notification when the next episode comes out. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, feel free to give me a good rating. I sure would appreciate it. So until next week, love you, mean it. See ya.